Yo, what's up? How you doing? It's Jay, aka Aqua, and Riley asked me to come out here and tell you a little bit about myself and my channel, give you a little insight into me. So he asked me a couple questions. The first one, he said he wants me to tell you guys a little bit about myself. So um, here we go. I'm 45. My name is Jay. I was originally born in Brooklyn, raised in Virginia. I traveled, joined the military. I'm a father of a 22-year-old son, an 8-year-old daughter, and a 2.5, almost 3-year-old daughter. And I mean, I'm a family man. You know, I do dig me some fish. I don't know why. I wish I was interested in something more profitable, like the stock market or real estate or something like that. But really, I don't know what it is about fish that attracts me so much. I think maybe it's I've always been a watcher. You know, I always like to observe, and there's so much to observe when it comes to aquariums, and you know, looking at your fish, the individual fish, and kind of, why do they do that? You know, I'm one of those guys. Well, why is this like this? So why is that like that? So when it comes to fish, there's so many whys, and it keeps me interested. You know, like for instance, you know, the fish in the background. You know, that one discus you see right there, he's pretty chill, and then occasionally he'll start bugging the other discus that's around. There it is, right there. Occasionally he'll start bugging that discus. It's like, why? Well, what is it that triggers you? You know, so it's those type of questions and those type of things that keep me interested. Just the fascination of what they're doing and why they're doing it. That's my biggest thing when it comes to aquariums is observing them and trying to figure out what it is that they're doing. You know, why do they do it? So that's my big thing. You know, why? Well, before YouTube, what was my pastime activity? Before YouTube, before me, I was really big into motorcycles. Motorcycles was my thing. I really enjoy the machinery and the mechanics of motorcycles. I used to love to ride. I don't ride anymore, just because, especially here in Florida, it's just a little too dangerous, and I have way too much to lose over something. Will I ever get back on two? Yeah, I will. It's just right now, it's not for me. I used to love building motorcycles. Basically buying old motorcycles and totally customizing them to make them my own. That was my big thing. I still would like to get into it, but right now it's just not in the books. How have I evolved as a YouTuber and a fish keeper, making videos and all that? Well, if you see my very first video, I was well, first of all, I had to take some shots just to get through it, you know. Woohoo! I'm a lot more comfortable now on video, in front of a camera, to the point where a lot of my personality shows through without nervousness. So I'm a little bit more wild. I wouldn't even call myself wild. I'm free. I feel a little bit more freer to be a little bit more silly, to be myself. So that's the biggest thing. The talking to a camera as I would be talking to a person. Whereas before, when I first started, it was very deliberate. Everything I said was very deliberate. Now I say a whole bunch of stuff that just rolls off the top of my head, and I feel like it's better. It's more relatable. But I guess the comfortability, is that a word? I don't know. Of the way I communicate is my biggest change. Well, the other biggest changes, I was really, and I still am, I'm all about me some angels, but I've opened myself up to other types of fish. For instance, Central American cichlids have become a fascination of mine, and that's something that I'm going to pursue. I feel, as far as angels go, I mean, there's always more stuff I could learn, but I feel like there's other avenues of fish keeping that I'd like to learn as well. And Central American cichlids right now is that avenue that I'm going. I'll never give up on angels. Psh, never, obviously. Look, but being open to new experiences. Yeah, I'm digging it. What is it that takes up my time when I'm not making fish videos for YouTube, or I'm not doing maintenance with my fish at home? I'm gonna be honest with you, it seems like most of when I'm not at work, I'm not doing YouTube videos, and I'm not doing maintenance on my fish at home, I feel like there are other avenues related to fish that take my time up. So it's almost like my time is constantly revolving around fish. I do spend time with my girls when I can. I try to, as much as possible, spend time, but I have other things in my life that pull me. I feel like I'm being pulled in a whole bunch of directions, all related to fish. But I like to, and spending time with my girls is difficult because, but I try my hardest because, like, my 8-year-old, she's so girly right now. She just thinks I'm silly, and my 2.5-year-old, 3-year-old, she just wants. I guess she thinks I'm a jungle gym, like, because all we do really is roughhouse, and she loves it. But I try when I'm not doing fish related stuff or working. I try and spend time with my girls as much as possible. Heartaches when it comes to fish keeping. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I haven't really came across any heartaches. See, you gotta remember, you gotta know something about me. I'm very good at compartmentalizing things in my life. And to be honest with you, when it comes to fish keeping, at the end of the day, if something bad were to happen as far as fish keeping goes, I always think to myself, well, it's not the end of the world. So for something to be really devastating, I don't really see that happening in my fish hobby. I can't really think of one thing that I would consider heartbreaking. Yeah, I've lost fish. I've attempted to do things that didn't quite work out, but I don't really dwell on the negatives too much. I'm not a person that is easily kept down, mentally. I don't really stay down. So I can't really say I've really had any heartbreaking issues. As long as my family's good, everything else is extra. So yeah, no heartbreak so far. I can't think of anything that would happen when it comes to fish keeping that would be devastating. I could always get more fish. I could always get another tank. So, I mean, it sounds a little cold-hearted, but I think being able to keep that perspective over it's not the end of the world gives me a different type of approach to fish keeping, a more clinical view of fish keeping. So I don't have a whole lot of emotions attached. It's more fascination to me. Fish keeping to me is more like, I guess you would say like a scientist studying a specimen, and it's very clinical. It's not something that is, for me, that is emotional. Like I said, it's kind of cold-hearted, I know, but that's just how I am. Okay, so yeah, I'm a freshwater fish keeper, and saltwater. Here's the truth about saltwater. Oddly enough, I started keeping saltwater fish before I kept freshwater fish. It was I worked at a pet store, and I was all right, before I got into fish keeping, period, I was really heavy into reptiles, monitors and snakes. I have a phobia against rodents, and when I found out that monitors and snakes ate rodents, I was like, oh, I was all in. So I started working at a pet store as the reptile manager, and because I worked as the reptiles, and reptiles in pet stores, reptile department is right next to the fish department. The average customer don't care what department you work in, they want help. So I was forced to learn about fish because I worked at the pet store. And And I remember once I learned about freshwater and saltwater at the exact same time, because, you know, I was thrown into it, you know, head first. So as time went on, I remember people complain, you know, saying, not complaining, but stating that saltwater was so hard. But I learned both of them at the same time, and I thought to myself, well, I want to do something that people say is hard. I've always put myself in very difficult situations on purpose to see if I can overcome it. You know, it's my way of testing myself. So I went straight to saltwater, and I wasn't that impressed with saltwater. Yeah, the fish they have very vibrant colors and all that, but I wasn't that impressed with the average fish. Now, I will tell you, I was impressed with their larger fish. For instance, groupers and lionfish, predatory fish. Triggers are my favorite. But for the fish that I want, I need a 300-gallon tank, and that's just for like 3 fish at the most, you know? So would I ever get saltwater fish? Maybe. But if I did, it would have to be a ridiculously large aquarium. And to be honest with you, my money right now, I don't have extra money to get a 300-gallon aquarium. If I had enough money to get a 300-gallon aquarium, I'd probably use that for multiple smaller freshwater aquariums. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I maybe. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's not something that I'm striving for, you know? It'd be a afterthought more than anything else. All right, so Riley wants me to tell you why I feel you should watch my videos. That's a weird question, Riley. Well, here's the thing. When I first started YouTube, I wanted my videos to be entertaining, relatable, and I wanted everybody to come away with at least one thing that they didn't know before. You know, I used to watch YouTube videos on fish where it was all completely educational and boring. You know, it was very difficult to get through some people's videos because it was just, I felt like I was at a lecture, you know, and I don't want to be at a lecture. You know, so there was some videos that they were not only informative, but they were also fun to watch. And that's what I want my videos to be. I want my videos to be fun to watch. I want it to be something you look forward to, not something that you, I gotta, you know, not something that you have to, you know, swallow to get the information. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I gotta watch this guy and listen to this guy talk just to get the information. No, you should. I want people to be happy about watching my videos, and the education slide it in on the bottom side when you wasn't looking. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be an event, you know. So that's why you should watch my videos. My videos, I feel, are for people that don't really want all the jargon and mumbo jumbo. I want to be able to communicate with the average fish keeper, not the people that are wannabe scientists. You know what I mean? They just want to be able to keep their fish alive, and they want somebody that they can trust to give them the best information that they can. So that's why I feel like people should watch my videos. Have a good time and maybe learn something along the way. Anyway, Riley, I appreciate that you think so highly of me that you want to have me on your channel. So I appreciate you, and everybody, peace out.